Hello everyone, this is Cool Pro 195 and welcome to a very special brand new unboxing video where I'll be opening up this epic package right here. So yeah, it's the second unboxing video of 2018 and here I am. Here we go. To get this over and done with. Yeah, I just figured I'd just keep the knife. Yeah, the knife is doing a much better job than the scissors. Okay. Alright, now that's the tape officially unsealed. It's time to reveal the contents of this epic package right here. Okay, here we go. And at the moment, what we have here is epic bubble wrap that's contained right here. And you're gonna see what this is, and they packaged this up really nice, I'm not gonna lie. By the way people, yeah, this right here, which you're gonna see before I open this up. Now, I think I'm gonna need scissors to cut this open, which I have with me. It's just the way they packaged it. Maybe it's different, but yeah, anyways, time to get into this, to the device itself before we get onto the contents. Oh wait, I don't need scissors, there's already an opening here. What do we have here? Well, you're about to find out. Okay people, here we go, and yeah, I apologize for the partial anticlimactic beginning for the video, but you know, I've been waiting all day to make this. Now it's like afternoon, but yeah. And here we are with the actual device itself, people. Time to unravel it from its packaging. Some of you may already know what this is, some of you may not, but you're about to see what this is. It's an awesome device I have right here. And here we have it, people. The OSSC, the Open Source Scan Converter, or the OSSC as some people would like to call it. And this is version 1.6, which is the latest revision of the model. Now, I'll show around the dimensions of... I'll show around for what the device has. Now, the design looks really nice, and of course over here we have an on and off switch. Here's the JTAG port over here. Then there's the IR receiver, and over here as you see it's got a mini LCD or LED display right here which displays the signals that you input. And over here, yeah, as I've explained, it's got an on off switch. Like the design is like kind of, you know, the way they've manufactured it, it's kind of, well, I wouldn't exactly say cheap, but in comparison to the Framemeister, it is sort of. But yeah, in previous versions of this device right here, like they have like see-through, like these plates right here are see-through, but they're not. But anyways, before we move on to what this actually is, well, I'll show, I'll show what, like, you know, the inputs and everything. Okay, so I've already mentioned that, and mini SD right here. Okay, so now here we have, okay, this angle is not doing me any favors. Alright, so, that's better. Okay, now here we have the inputs for it. There are pretty much three inputs which they ironically label as AV, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, yeah, AV1 is for the RGB SCART connectors, which you plug in your RGB SCART, although you could use a JP21 adapter. By the way, this device does not support S-Video or composite, like, in order to direct connectly, so you're gonna need to use a SCART adapter in order to hook it up to this plug right here. I mean, to this slot over here. And where it says AV2 in, like, it just has like the RCA cables. I mean, the slots for like the RCA RGB slots for component cables, as like RGB stands for red, green, blue, which is basically the same as what RGB accepts into RGB SCART, but you know, it's different. It's just that it goes by its own connection. And over here we have like a VGA port right here, unless I'm mistaken, for AV3, and of course over here it would say like which connection you actually have, like which port you're actually using, and then which resolution you're outputting, and also frame rate as well, to my memory of videos that I've been seeing of this device. But yeah, I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little off today as well, but you know, sometimes it's just, some days are easy, some days they're not. And now for the output slots right here. Now over here we have they call it AV output. This is the HDMI slot that we actually output from the OSSC, the open source scan converter, to whichever HDMI device or whichever HDMI display that you're hooking this up to, whether it's like a TV or a monitor or a capture card. So yeah, this is effectively also useful for capturing as well, and they have like two 3.5mm audio jacks for the side, which is actually quite helpful. And yeah, this is another thing that they revised in version 1.6, the latest revision, the current latest revision of the OSSC. Like, in previous models, they've had a DVI port over here, but then in this revision they replaced it with a HDMI port, which in all honesty was actually a wise decision, because there are more and more devices in these days that support HDMI. So yeah, god, I'm just not expecting my arm to fucking kill me right now, but yeah. You probably heard it click then as well, but yeah, anyways. And also, as for seeing this for the first time, like just seeing the video inputs for component cables, I wonder where like the audio cables are gonna go, but I'll figure that out. You know, I'll figure it out. But yeah, anyways, now to explain more about what the OSSC is. Like, it's basically kind of like an alternative to the XRGB Mini Framemeister, which I also happen to own. It's like an upscaler, but at the same time it isn't, except technically it's not an upscaler. What people officially refer this to, they refer this, like, they call this a line doubler. Hence it doubles like the scan lines, and it's not focused on the frames that are being produced, it focuses on the lines of the image that are being produced from whichever device like the OSSC is actually picking it up from and outputting to the TV or capture card or whatever you're using. Or essentially this is like a line multiplier, since you don't just double the lines, you can do, you know, line times 3, line times 4, line times 5 as well, but I'm not sure if you can go further beyond 5, but I'll see when I get to testing this out. But yeah, and also I've been speaking to some people who happen to be like professionals on this device, and And they do mention that 99.9% of boot up screens tend to load up successfully on this, whereas on the Framemeister, which I've previously tested it out on, like, you know, most of the boot screens don't load up entirely. Like, for example, the PS1 boot screen, like the PS1 boot startup screen and the PS2 boot startup screen. But yeah, that's because the Framemeister sometimes, because it focuses on frames, it just... I'm sorry about that, my right arm was killing me. But yeah, because the Framemeister obviously focuses on frames, hence the name Framemeister, like, it's obviously gonna cut out some parts of the signal that shouldn't even be cut out in the first place. So you're missing, what, crucial seconds of time within a boot sequence or startup sequence, or even a cutscene within a game. So yeah, that pretty much takes away from the authentic experience. But yeah, this is an alternative which is meant to, you know, try and make it even more authentic. But you know, it's another one of those alternatives. Basically they both do the same thing. They both convert signal. They convert the signal, but they don't do it in the same way. Because like I said, the XRGB Mini Framemeister is an upscaler, whereas this is a line doubler or multiplier. So yeah, they both got their own ways of doing this. And so far, the OSSC sounds very promising. But anyways, and yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is the power supply output over here, which you plug in. And now moving on to the things themselves. But yeah, I figured I'd get the device out of the way in this video, because then people actually know what they're getting themselves into. But yeah, anyways, now moving on to the contents. Yeah, I just had to move the webcam. Okay, now over here we have the actual power supply itself, which you actually hook up to the OSSC, the open source scan converter. And what's helpful is that it's like a universal power supply, so it comes with like the outlet of your choice, and they have the outlets right here, whether it's a UK outlet or a European outlet, or any of these other two outlets, which I don't exactly know what they are. Presumably one of them is Asian. Feel free to let me know for those who... I think it would say in the manual, but you know, it is what it is. And over here we have the JP21 adapter. Now the reason why and yeah, you can purchase this separately, which is basically what I did. But yeah, the reason why some people would get a JP21 adapter is because JP21 is a different connection. It looks like SCART, but at the same time it's not really, because the internal wiring is different. And if you use a JP21, say if you're using your console with a JP21 SCART cable instead of a Euro SCART cable, you're gonna, like, I think there's gonna be something wrong with the signal, or maybe it could damage it entirely. I'm not entirely sure what the damages are, but I recommend you check that out with professionals. But yeah, here's presumably where you plug it into the device itself on the RGB SCART slot right here. And here's where you plug in your JP21 device, and yeah, I also have JP21 as well, which is another reason why I got this, not just to make the collection complete, but yeah. And last but not least, we have the remote for the device itself, the remote for the open source scan converter. God, my fucking arm is killing me right now. I did not expect that to happen. And you'd expect that. And it wasn't killing me in my previous unboxing video, and I had much more to open. Okay. Here's the tape. Here's the tape. I had to do that because I just don't want to waste time. My arm is just killing me. Here we have the setup guide for the remote itself, and yeah, you can see the remote up there. Yeah, I'm not going to show the thing entirely, I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse of it, just so you know how the controls work. Back here it's presumably the same thing, just in a different language. Oh, they have it in Portuguese as well, interesting. And Spanish, both on the same side. Well, this is interesting. Okay, now for the actual remote itself. And yeah, the Framemeister also came with its own remote, so yeah, it's also useful that you know, the OSSC comes with its own remote as well. You know, I'm glad to have these devices now, and personally I reckon so far the OSSC sounds very promising from what I've been researching and have been told from some professionals that own the device themselves. It sounds really promising, especially for the relatively cheap price that I got it for in comparison to how much I paid for my whole XRGB mini Framemeister bundle last year. You know, it's a lot. I wonder if this has its own batteries. It probably does. I'm just gonna check. Oh no, I've gotta have my own batteries. Well, it's a piss take, they don't supply batteries, but it is what it is. It's just business, apparently. But anyways, that clears up all the contents of this package, and I've got to say, I can't wait to start using this device right here. It's so sick. I mean, yeah, I know, as I've said earlier, the design is relatively cheap in comparison. But at the same time, like, it's smaller, it takes up less space, and it's like, which sort of makes it a more resourceful device, as well as, you know, a device that kind of outputs the image more accurately from your older systems to your HD TV or Ultra HD TV or 4K TV, however you want to call it, or your capture card. Yeah, it's an essential help for my channel, since I also plan to do recordings of old games, and I want to do them like with the authentic experience, because like it's not really authentic if you're just having the signal cut out for like pointlessly, just because the device is trying to render like the frames. Like, that's a Framemeister issue right there, which kind of takes away from, you know, the authenticity. Yeah, I just want to provide like the most authentic experience possible, the most authentic experience that I can possibly provide. Whenever I do, videos such as let's plays or playthroughs of like, or even potentially live streams of older games. I mean, yeah, I may occasionally emulate during live streams, but at the same time, I'll do a bit of both here and there, to be honest. It doesn't have to be entirely. But yeah, anyways, might as well put all these away. Okay, I'll put these on top. There. Alright people, so here we have it. The open source scan converter version 1.6 itself, and from what I've been hearing, this device is still currently in development, so yeah, it's probably gonna be, I'm not sure when it's gonna be, when they're actually gonna finish like revising the product, but only time will tell. And as it stands, the XRGB Framemeister is already finished in production. Actually, it's finished in revisions, they're still like producing some units here and there. But yeah, as for the OSSC, it's still going on with revisions, because it's kind of a device that also still needs improving, but well, they both need improving, it's just that it's just company decisions really. Like, it's up to the companies themselves whether they need improving or not, but it is what it is. The Framemeister is decent for its final product, but not perfect. And I'm not sure if I can say the same for the OSSC, but I'll give the open source scan converter a try before I can even, have a full opinion on this device. So yeah, but so far, it sounds promising. So yeah, I might do a recording test of both the XRGB3 and I can't even fucking speak for shit right now today. But yeah, I might do a recording test, or maybe even a comparison of the XRGB Mini Framemeister compact upscaler unit and the open source scan converter version 1.6. But only time will tell. I can't 100% promise if it will happen, but yeah, if I am to do it, I'll just compare the performance and the way they output the signal and everything. But yeah, pretty much that's all there is to say for this unboxing video, and I apologize if some of you have expected a sort of different kind of delivery. I know I personally felt I could have been more energetic, but considering I had to wait till later on in the day to make this, it kind of took some of it away. But at the same time, this is like the only time that I have now to make this video, and it's been on my case for more than 2 weeks now. And now I'm glad that I finally got out of the way, because next week I will not be free at all to make any videos whatsoever. But I'm not sure about the week after, but we'll just have to see. Anyways people, that officially puts this epic unboxing video to an end, if you want to call it an epic unboxing video, that is. Feel free and be sure to subscribe, like or rate, however you want to put it. Drop a comment below to leave constructive feedback, and or share it around with friends and family, whoever they may be. And see you lot in future projects on this channel, whenever they may happen. Laters everyone, peace out.